Hallo zusammen, I'm your Vlog Dave. After I've talked about the German masculine article der, let's continue with die, the gender article for feminine nouns. But there's even more to this one than just one way of using it. First of all, you can all continue living in peace and harmony, because no, the German word die is neither pronounced like the English die, nor has it any connection to the topic of death in German. Well, somehow it has grammatically, but more about this at the end of the video. So, die is the standard German singular article to mark German nouns as feminine words, grammatically. Well, some creatures and things are rather obviously feminine. For instance, die Frau, the woman. Now, you might think that the girl is also feminine in German, but no. In fact, Mädchen is a neuter noun in German, das Mädchen, so be careful here. So from my last lesson, you might remember what I said about different animals being referred to with different gender articles in German, depending on the species. For instance, der Elefant, meant as a reference to the whole species in this case, is masculine, whereas die Möwe, the gull or seagull, is feminine. A very important aspect that also keeps evolving in the German language of today is we like to distinguish between different gender words for professions, depending on the sex of the actual person. Der Professor, the professor. And in this case it's a man being a professor, and it could also refer to the profession being a professor in general. You can also come across the term die Professorin in German, with the two letters en, in, marking it as a feminine form of the noun der Professor. Many, but not all, German nouns that end in e are feminine. For instance, die Kirche, die Pflaume, die Brücke. It's easy to come up with different examples as well. Der Käse is masculine, the cheese. Or das Ende, the end, is a neuter noun. Whereas most rivers outside of Germany are considered masculine in the German language, der Mississippi for instance, most rivers in Germany are considered feminine. Die Donau, die Mosel, die Elbe. There are certain recurring endings of German nouns that are also connected to the respective gender articles. And if you want to learn more about this topic, watch my German lesson on suffixes and how they correlate with the German gender articles. With all this being said, however, there is yet another frequent use of the article die in the German language, and this use isn't related to the grammatical gender of a noun in any way, shape or form. The thing is, all German nouns in plural feature the plural article die. So, in other words, there's only one plural article in the German language, and once again, the gender of a noun in singular doesn't matter in this case. So, der Elefant, as well as die Biene and das Nest all feature the article die when their plural forms are used. Die Elefanten, die Bienen, die Nester. It's basically two different grammatical situations, but the term is the same, and it's also spelled and pronounced the same. Die. And coming back to the beginning of this German lesson, what does the word die have, well, slightly to do with the topic of death in German? Well, you might actually be able to answer this for yourself now. The plural term for der Tod, the death, features the one and only plural article die, of course, so it's die Tode, deaths. Alright guys, like I've said before, click the thumbnails to my right if you want to learn more about German articles and how it's easier to determine if a German noun is either masculine, feminine or a neuter noun. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and to spread the word about this YouTube channel. Support options and social media links can be found in the video description. So, thanks for watching, I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.